this is unbelievable. Do you know that guy, Jonathan Solomon? Did anybody know this guy's name? He used to work for the AP years ago.
I think a lot of people know that guy's name and face.
When I saw this, I realized I've been doing this job for about 3 years, and I don't know if I've seen his name or face the entire time.
Idea
okay, Jonathan Solomon. John Solomon. He was. He was never a big name because he was just a reporter at AP, but his reports were always very, very slanted. And then I think he went to work for the AEI. I think. I'm not 100% sure about that, but now apparently he works for The Hill. Listen to this. Let's do the test. I can't tell if he's in the New York office or the Washington office. I wonder where he's based out of. But here is John Solomon, and everybody's getting into the act, folks, over at Fox in terms of. Let's listen to this report. You tell me if you believe this.
As I came here tonight, Sean.
By the way, everybody's a native Rush, apparently.
I apparently have to clear my future comments with Pravda.
He's laughing.
Yeah, no, it is pretty funny, but I'll tell you what's
Pause
not funny.
it for 1 second. These guys, they're all, I guess they're laughing about the Russia stuff. There is, in the right-wing world, the news that's about to break about the investigations is, of course, about the Clinton Foundation and the enormous scandal that's about to explode. But here is, on Sean Hannity, here's John Solomon talking about it.
I'll tell you what's not funny. On the way here tonight, a woman stopped me on the street angry and screaming at me and tossed her tacos on me. I did come in smelling like taco dip tonight. I apologize. But the sort of vitriol and silliness that goes on, we ought to just stay focused on the facts and what happens every day in our lives.
So somebody's walking around the streets of Washington or New York with a taco, eating a taco. The temperature last night or 2 days ago was, I think, 30s. They were putting, in New York. Maybe he's in Washington, D.C., and it's warmer. And, boy, she must have had some pretty bad aim with that taco sauce that she had. Because he doesn't look like he has any taco sauce.
I saw you on a C-SPAN journal at 3 a.m. in 2002, and you are very bad. You constantly reporting biased news. I'm going to throw this tostito at you.
I have been aware of this guy for over a decade, and I have if he was sitting right where you are, Michael, I wouldn't know who he was.
I saw you with Brian Lamb in 2007. You were always distorted the Bush administration's record on the invasion of Iraq. I'm going to throw a taco at you before you go on with Hannity. I know you're scheduled.
The idea that there is any individual in the entire country who John Solomon doesn't know, right? Like, there could be people who know his work well enough that are like, you're a horrible human being. I'm going to throw a taco at you. And John's like, hey, Bill, come on. We used to be colleagues. But the idea that there's anybody in the country who knows who this guy is to have enough anger to take their food that they're eating in the middle of the day on the street, the taco they're eating on the street, one of those classic street foods, and throw it at him is just beyond belief.
Everybody talks about Rush Limbaugh or even the new guys like Dave Rubin or Jordan Peterson, but if you really follow the news, it's John Solomon. And, normally I believe in the rules of civility, but if it's Jew, I'm throwing a taco at you, John Solomon, because you are the most important right-wing propagandist in the United States.
They mobilize and break in his door, like, John Solomon, get him!
Yeah, also just a
why
waste
everybody
of tacos.
protesting at
Total waste of tacos.
Why is everybody protesting at Tucker Carlson's house when John Solomon is still running around without any public accountability? I mean, this guy's really important. I saw him during a call-in segment in Washington Journal at 3:45 a.m. in 1999, and it was just atrocious the way he talked about the contract with America. Let's throw a taco at him.
It doesn't look like he was at AEI, but this is no. I never heard of this. Circa News. Anybody?
No.
After leaving the Washington Times, Solomon became chief creative officer for Circa News. Circa is a mobile news application founded in 2011 that streams updates on big news events to users. In June 2015, it shut down, but its relaunch was announced after its acquisition by Sinclair Broadcasting. As chief of Circa, he wrote and published a number of political articles.
That's when people really got mad at him.
Often
And
When you made
It's
the
Sinclair
move
watchers.
to Sinclair and you became a household face and name, that was when it really changed.
let's go to the phone.
He does actually have an air about him of somebody who should have a taco thrown at him.
There's
Like,
no
even if
doubt.
you had no idea who he was.
Don't
right?
misjudge me. If anybody was to get a taco thrown at him, I would put him on the list. But
It wasn't for his professional output.
No, it's just because he looks like an Interpol
Looks like a
notice.
target for a
He looks-
taco.
Yeah, he just looks like
I have a
he
feeling
looks like
like-
an Interpol notice for doing very
More
bad
likely
things in other
like-
countries.
What's the German word for a face in need of a taco?
exactly, I have a feeling this guy probably parked in like a handicap zone and walked out, and somebody's like, "Hey, dude, you're not supposed to park there." And he goes,
The right wing is like the left is so angry that this woman who's quadriplegic was pissed I parked in her space. They're so filled with anger.
Let's
man.
focus on facts and not
focus-
taco
yeah.
throwing, okay?
calling from a 509 area code. Who's this? Where are you calling from?